If you've ever done your makeup and you thought, why doesn't mine look as good as everyone else's? It's definitely not the products, it's the little techniques that you're not doing. Today, I'm showing you my tips and tricks that have completely changed the way my makeup looks from just looking okay to looking like it got professionally done. So if you want to know what they are, let's get right into it. If you've been following me for long enough, you know that one of the things I preach about is doing your brows before skincare, before makeup, before anything is on your skin. If you do your brows after skincare or after foundation, you are going to get whatever glue or gel you're using on your skin, and it's going to mix with the foundation. It's just gonna look weird. It's gonna clump up. It's gonna look nasty. Girl, trust me on this one. You need to do your brows before any of that. I have nothing on my skin right now, and I'm going to gel the out of my brows. They're not gonna move, they're not gonna budge, they're going to last all day. And after I'm doing this, I'm going to clean all around my brow with micellar water so there's nothing on my skin when I do my skincare and my foundation. This will make your brows last so much longer. I am telling you, if your brows don't last, this is why. Like I said, I've talked about this on my channel so many times, and I actually had someone comment on my videos and they said they were confused because they don't put skincare in their brows. And I get that, but either way, if you do your skincare, it's slowly going to go into your brows. It's going to go into that area. It's really hard to control that. So it's just easier and cleaner, and it's going to look more sleek if you do your brows before any of that. While my brows dry down a little bit, we are going to jump into the next tip. Oh, before we do that, girl, make sure you subscribe. I saw that 95% of people that watch are not subscribed. And girl, I need you to be part of the family because you being here helps me make more videos and better videos for you. And I love doing it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, and let's get into these makeup hacks. I don't care if you have oily skin, you need to put something on your skin. Use a lightweight moisturizer, use a lightweight toner. Never go directly in with primer or foundation. Your skin is going to feel tight. It's going to look dry. It's going to look cakey. Everything is going to look and feel so much smoother, so much more hydrated if you use something before going in with primer or foundation. I'm going to use the Delta toner, and if you have oily skin, you will love this. If you have dry skin, you will love this. This is amazing for all skin types. It's very lightweight. It's very hydrating, and it looks amazing with makeup. I've also found that if you prep your skin the right way, if you use a good toner, a good moisturizer, you do not need a primer. Your makeup is going to last just as long as if you did use a primer. Just prep your skin, and it's just as good as a primer. Also, do not mind my tan. For some reason, it decided to come off everywhere on my face except my forehead. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's looking a little crazy, so don't judge me. You could stop here, but I like to go in with a moisturizer, and I have absolutely been loving the One Size moisturizer. I've talked about this before, but Patrick actually went to esthetician school just to formulate this. It's really, really good. It doesn't feel greasy. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't pill your makeup or separate anything. And honestly, I was very surprised because I really don't like a lot of One Size base products. I feel like they do pill on me, but this is so lightweight. It feels so good, so hydrating, and it's just the perfect base for your foundation. It also just gives that instant glow. Are you kidding? And that was one pump. You do not need a lot of this product. This is so good. I'll link it for you guys. I have been absolutely loving that. I will 100% repurchase it. One of my concealer tips starts with your foundation. When you're doing your foundation, do not put it underneath your eye. Your under eyes are so thin, and you're going to put concealer there anyway. So the more product you put under there, the cakier and the heavier and the drier it's going to look. You can put it everywhere else, but do not put it underneath your under eye. Also, side note, I feel like this foundation and moisturizer combination is elite. The skin looks so hydrated, so dewy. This is the Natasha Denona foundation. I always tag everything for you guys, but I'm using the shade N5. If you do accidentally get a little bit of foundation underneath your eyes, just take a Q-tip and lightly brush away any foundation that might be there. There is no foundation underneath my eyes, and my concealer is going to look so smooth. If you're not doing this, start doing it. Before I do my concealer, I'm going to do my bronzer and my blush. I've kind of been doing my makeup that way recently, when usually I would do concealer and then bronzer and blush. I just feel like when you do your bronzer and blush before concealer, when you blend out your concealer, everything looks way better. I wasn't even going to mention that, but I guess that is considered another tip. But the tip I was going to say is when you do your bronzer and blush, do not apply it directly to your face. It's going to make blending it out so much more difficult. I promise you. You can either take this and apply it directly to the brush, or you can put some on the back of your hand and really warm it up and take your brush and gradually build this up and build it up on your face. It doesn't look harsh. If I wanted more definition, I could put more definition in there, but this looks really good. And honestly, I'm probably not even going to add more because I don't need to add more. I even like putting foundation on the back of my hand and building it up, but I feel like you can get away with putting foundation directly on your face versus a blush or a bronzer just because it's easier to blend. I feel like bronzer and blush are placed in one area, whereas foundation is your whole face. Honestly, this is an especially good tip if you are a beginner. I feel like I've just been doing makeup for so long that if I did put product directly on my face and I did use a lot, I would be able to blend it out. It would take a minute. But if you're just starting makeup, if you don't really know how to bronze or do your blush, this is a really good way to learn how. And honestly, it's going to look the best. Look how seamless and snatched this bronzer looks. This is the e.l.f. bronzer, by the way, and this is in the shade medium. I have not been able to stop using it. It is so good. It's so creamy. The fact that it's $7 is actually shocking. This is better than some high-end bronzer sticks I have. Same thing with your blush. Put it directly on the brush or warm it up on the back of your hand. This shade, are you kidding? This is the prettiest baby pink ever. This is in the shade Gumball. Oh, no. This is in the shade Pink on it. Pink on it. Pink on it, queen. I do bring my blush up pretty high, so that's another reason why I like to do my concealer after, because it's just going to blend all of this out. And I don't have to be so precise with my blush. It can look a little messy because the concealer is going to clean it up. Also, I saw the movie Obsession today. That was my face the entire movie. I'm not even kidding you. If you like thrillers, if you like creepy, weird shit, you should go see it. And if you go to a movie before 4, you get 20% off. And girl, you know I'm doing that. Because honestly, I don't like going to movie theaters at night. It scares me, girl. I'm not even gonna lie. So going to a movie at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, it actually sounds like the perfect day. This concealer is so pretty. I know I keep saying that. I keep saying it about like every product, but I am using some of my favorite products today. The ones that I've discovered, the new ones. Oh, and they just look so good together. This is the Natasha Denona Brightener, actually. Technically, this is not even a concealer, but I feel like it gives such good coverage. I love that it's pink and it's like the perfect shade of pink. See how that just blends so beautifully into my blush? And if I need to add more, I'll just go right in and add a little bit and it still just looks so good. And the best part about this too is if you want to add more blush, just take a little bit on your brush after your concealer's blended, and there you go. It's just so much easier than putting way too much product on and then you have a really cakey, heavy cheek. Tip number 5 is what's really going to change your under eye makeup game. I see so many people take their powder puff, dip it into the powder, and go directly underneath their eye with this. Girl, that is crazy. And there's dog hair on it. Let's just ignore that. I cannot imagine my under eye feeling more heavy and more dry than if I did that. And girl, I know because I used to do that. Now I take my powder puff, I put a little bit on here. Even if you do use a lot, you can just rub this off. You want barely anything on this puff. It's kind of like the creams. If you need more powder, you can slowly build it up. Blend out your concealer one more time. And now you can start setting underneath your eye, but don't go directly to set in here. Start down here and work your way up. Look how smooth that looks. And I barely used any powder. If I need more, I'll go back in for more, but you really don't need a lot for your under eyes because like I said, your under eyes are really thin. It looks so smooth. It looks airbrushed, honestly. Look at the difference between the side that is not set versus the side that I did set, and I barely used any. This is the L'Oreal Blurfection powder, by the way. It is my absolute favorite, specifically the pink shade. Oh my gosh. Every time I wear this, I swear someone compliments me. I wore this all Coachella weekend, and I had so many people compliment my under eyes. They actually said it looked like a filter. I've repurchased this probably 5 times. I am obsessed with it. If you wear a lot of makeup, if you wear as much as I do, you definitely are going to want to use a hydrating spray. This is something I recently started doing, and I feel like it totally changed my makeup game. Even though your skin is prepped and it looks really good, using a hydrating spray is just going to add a little bit of life into your skin. And I was always really scared to do this because I was like, isn't it going to move my makeup? But it doesn't at all. And you can even do this in between steps if you really want your makeup to have that fresh, dewy, glowy look. I love this Anua spray, but I also love the Delba spray. And you don't need a lot of this, just... That's literally it. Holy shit. I just breathed that in. Oh my God, girl. We almost got me coughing and dying on camera. And if you're worried it's gonna be heavy, look how light this spray is. It's so thin. The mist is so fine. It's not going to go on your face like a setting spray. Even if you don't use this and you want to go directly in with setting spray, do it before mascara. Even if you're wearing waterproof mascara and then you use setting spray, it's still going to get your lashes wet and it's going to transfer above and below. Now that that's done, I'm going to do my lips and my mascara and come back with my final tip. Complete side note, these lip liners are so creamy. And they don't move. Once these are on, they're not budging. This is the Fenty lip liner in the shade Rubber Bands. Insane. Rihanna was really in the lab and she knew what she was doing. The lip combo of the century, honey. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's everything. My last and final tip that is truly going to elevate your lash game is tightlining your upper waterline. You can do this if you wear lashes or if you don't. If you are wearing fake lashes, this is going to make your fake lash blend so seamlessly into your real lash. It's going to look way more natural than if you were to just glue a lash onto your lashes. I'm not wearing lashes today, but I'm still going to tightline my upper waterline. This is something I never do. It seems like a small little thing, but it really takes your makeup to the next level. If you're new to this or you're... What the... How does that happen? If you're new to this or you're... Oh my God. Lord help me. Okay. Yep. Let's pretend that didn't happen. If you're new to this and this freaks you out, just take your pencil, place it near your eye, and blink on it. You're not going to poke yourself. You're not going to get yourself in the eye. This is the easiest way to do it. Or just keep your eyes slightly open and lightly press on your lash line. It looks scary. I promise it isn't. And once you start doing this, you are never going to go back. This is the difference between tightlining and not. That is actually crazy. This side looks so much more seamless, and I feel like it also makes your lashes look more full. Those are some of the best tips, the best hacks that are going to elevate your makeup game. If you guys loved this video, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on my notifications. I upload every single freaking Friday, so I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.